Oh, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Am I on? I think I'm on. I can't see any comments at the moment. Let me see if I can get comments. Oh, doesn't look like I can. Oh well, hopefully if I get some comments, I'll see some comments maybe. Maybe that's how it works. I'm not entirely sure. But we'll give it a couple of minutes. Hi, Facebook user, whoever you may be. Yeah, we'll give it a couple of minutes. Sorry, I can't see who you are because StreamYard does a funny thing where if you have to have used StreamYard for your name to come up, which is very odd, isn't it? But there we are. So, hi, another Facebook user. Let me see if I go on my phone and go into, let's see, maybe Jammers might be where people are. Let's hope so. I don't know. I don't know. But no, I can't see a thing. But anyway, let's keep at it and see what happens. Oh, hi Kim. Hi Gina. Hi. Yes. Hi Stuart. Hi Lou. Hi Anya. So this is what I'm going to do tonight with fish included. We're going to do this. It doesn't quite fit in, does it? But there you go. Hopefully you can get the gist of it. This is what is happening tonight. So it's pretty much, well, it's all Andy Skinner. We're going Andy Skinner-esque. Hi, Marjorie. Hi. So let me pop this to one side and we'll crack on with it. Let's pop that over there. Oh, I need to get my rice papers out as well. So what am I using? Using lots of lovely Andy Skinner products, which I do feel very fortunate to be able to use. Now, one of the things I'm using is this kit, which is from Tando, and it's called Resurrection. And it's got some inspiration on there. But this is the kit I'm using, so I'll show you everything that's in here as I get it out. And it looks like it's a combination. Well, it doesn't look like it is. It's a combination of grey board and MDF. So we've got the main body is MDF, and we've got a little plaque there. Oh, don't lose that bolt. I want that. A little plaque and the little disc that was in there. They're MDF. And then the grey board pieces we've got are this piece here, which is the backing for that space there, which is grey board. And then we've got a grey board circle that we can put behind them. And then we've got a selection of I don't know what they are, circles, washers, that's a good word, isn't it? So yes, so a selection of washers and bolts as well, and a little nameplate. So that's what's in that kit, and I'm going to be using quite a lot of that. And the other kit I'm using, well, actually I'm using another 2 kits. Let me get this one out. Minute. I'm using sorry, I'm in a pickle. I'm using two other kits. I'm using one called Industrial Elements, and that kit is pretty amazing, I've got to say. It's got lots. I mean, I've used the pieces I've used for the other project, and I've got stacks left. That's not from this kit. I've got stacks of cogs and bits left, and I've got these really interesting door plates in here and other interesting shapes and cogs. It's a really, really cool kit. So I've got that one, which I'm going to be using some of. So I'll pop those bits there. And I'm also going to be using this other kit, which I love, really love this kit. And I think I'll definitely be getting some more of this one. And this one is the scrap metal fish and heart. And I've used one of the fish, which you've seen, but you get 3 MDF fish in there. And then you get your grey board pieces, so you could mount those grey board pieces on your fish, or you could use them separately. You don't necessarily have to use them together. And you've got a heart as well. So, and I'm going to be using those with this project too. So those are the chipboard kits that I'm using. I'm also going to be using some of the fabulous, oh, they are stunning, aren't they? These fabulous rice papers, which were sort of born out of these. Oh my, don't throw away any of my scraps. These were born from the coming together of Andy Skinner and Decoupage Cream, and they've created these amazing papers that I just love. And this is obviously going to be the focal point of our piece, but I'm also using these papers on the wood itself, because they've got such beautiful effects that why not? Hi Maz, hi. And these papers you can find them all over the place. I know for a fact that Mad Archers have got them in, but they are all over. And I'm also going to be using one of these stencils. I haven't decided which. And again, they're Andy Skinner stencils, because everything tonight it's really sort of quite phenomenal to have sort of pretty much every product you're using from the same designer is quite a unique situation to be in. But yes, so I'm going to use one of these stencils. Again, I think they're available in Mad Archers, I think. And the other thing I'm going to use is this eye stamp. It's called I Spy, and it's a really lovely eye stamp. Now this eye stamp, hi Terry, is actually the last time I looked on Tando, it was on sale. So, and it was only £2 something, and it's a really cool stamp. So if you're after it, I'd go and grab it, because that was a really awesome price. So I think that's it. Oh, yes. And I'm going to be using some of the Andy Skinner range Quick Grab Glue, Cosmic Shimmer Quick Grab Glue. I'm going to be using some of the Andy Skinner lava paste. The lava paste I know is in stock in Mad Archers, and I'm also going to be using these these paints are amazing. If you haven't tried them, I really recommend them. They're called pigment paints, And the reason they're called pigment paints is because they are absolutely chock-a-block full of pigment. You need so little of them. They're really special to use, for want of a better word. They are really special. Hi Caroline. Hi Joan. Oh, of course, Joan. Of course. Yeah, they're really unique, really special paints. They are, I mean, I've used all kinds of paints. Obviously I've done a lot of sort of artwork in the past, a lot of painting in the past, and these are on a par with some of the very expensive brands, I would say, and they're available from Mad Archers at the moment as well. I think they just came in today. So without further ado, as they say, shall we crack on? I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to assemble some of the cogs, and the reason I'm going to do that is because I want them to dry before I start messing about with them. So if we put them together first, and then we can go back and do all the other bits. So let's move the fish out of the way a second. The fish are just awesome. Awesome design. Right, I don't need anything on there. Look at the thickness of that board. It's amazing. Right, I'm not using those for this, but I will be using a sheet of this. And the really cool thing about this is I'm going to actually take a section out of one of these cogs to be part of my fish. So let me show you. You can see my fish's tail here. Can you see it? Hopefully you can see it. This fish's tail is a section from one of these cogs. But because of the way, because of the way the cogs are layered up, I can still use that cog that I've taken a section out of. So it's a really nice way of doing that. Hi Madeline. Hi Jessie. Hi Ellen. So we can, we can do that. And it's sort of, I suppose it is being a little bit frugal, but there's nothing wrong with that, because we want these kits to, we want to get as much out of them as we can. So I'm just cutting this little section out because this is going to be my fish's tail. There we go. So I've got my fish's tail piece there. Just tidy that up a little bit. They do, they will cut with a good pair of scissors. They are quite a substantial grey board. So I'm just going to pop these bits out of here now. So I'm left with this, but this is fine because I can overlap my cogs and nobody will ever know. So let's do that. No, you don't need to throw anything away. So I'm just going to decide now where I want to place things and start making my cog design. So let's get my adhesive on the go. And there we go. Let's get that off there because I don't want anything sticking. And I'm just creating my little design and getting things where I want them. So I think I'm going to use some of the pieces that were in the resurrection kit as well. So I'm definitely going to use that on there. And this really is personal choice. Just put things where you fancy putting them. You know, there's no right or wrong. It's all about what appeals to you. So I don't even know if this will match the last one. Hi, Leanne. I was just saying, I think you've got the anti-skinner pigment paints in, and the rice papers, and the lava. That's very Welsh, isn't it? Lava paste in. So I'm just getting, and I'm not getting rid of any of these bits just yet, because some of them might come in handy dandy for adding to other pieces. There we go. Oh, it's Madeline. It's Andy Skinner Central here. It really is. If it's not Andy Skinner, it's not getting on. So let's get this all in place. A little bit on there. I hope everybody liked the new stencil release. They're pretty cool as well. And I'm going to put, you see this was out of the centre of something else, but it's going to sit there rather nicely. And I want another cog because I want 3 now. Because I just need 3. I can't not have 3. And then that gives me 5 cogs altogether, which I'm happy about. Yeah, I'm not surprised. They're really lovely. They are really lovely. So I'm just building up my design. And this is the nice thing, because these kits are sort of, you know, there's quite a sort of, not prescriptive, but there's quite a, I'm trying to think of the right word. You know, I don't know about you, but I worry when I do anything in a kit that it's gonna, you know, that it's gonna look the same as anybody else who's got the kit. So I kind of quite like to make it my own, and I find by doing my own thing with these cogs, that sort of, I like that. That makes me happy. It makes me feel like I'm making it my own. No, I don't want another one there. I think what I do with this, it's bothering me that I can see that bit there, so I'm going to just cut that off. She says, oops, don't stab yourself, Rachel. There we go. No blood, we're all right. There. Oh, and I've got another bit I don't like there now. Oh, Rachel. Right. Okay. I will be satisfied with it. Let's put a bit more glue on now. I think I'm not on the right. That's it. Get it on the right surface and it will work. Right, let's have some bolts and things on here now. Who have we got there? Linda. Hi, Linda. Oh, tell me about it. Hi, Natasha. Yes, the storms are terrible, Linda. We're all right here at the moment, thank goodness. It's calmed down, which I'm very happy about, because it has been pretty crazy. And I'm taking the circle out of the bolt so that I can add that on the top of that bolt there, and it just gives it a little bit of something, extra, a little bit of something interesting. And I'm just going to keep building this until I decide I'm where I want to be, which shouldn't take too long. Oh, a steampunk event on Saturday. Oh, yes, Kim. Oh, these kits are phenomenal. They are, that's not a word that's easy for me to say, but they are phenomenal. They're really good. They've got a bit of everything in them. Oh, that glue is stuck far too well. But never mind. It'll be okay. Oh, not down actually. Yeah. Okay, more bolts. Give me more bolts. So let's get a few more of these on. It's very glue-tastic here, but I don't mind. It's fine. Oh, this one's split. Well, that's handy because I wanted another bolty bit on here. So there we go. I've got some more bolts on there. And just have a look through this little pile of gorgeousness to see if there's anything else I want to pop on there. I think I might. Do I want that? No, that's not quite right. What about that? Oh, yes, I like that there. Hi, Michelle. And let's take another one of these little circle bits. So I'm building up my design there, and I think I'm about this little hoop, you see, I want to sort of hang off the edge to string my fish onto. So I think I'm almost at point happy. I just want a couple more of these, I think. So we'll put those on. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, no, one more. I am terrible. But got to be happy, haven't you? There we go. Moika! Hello, lovely. So there we go. So that's my little coggy bit now that I'm happy with. Oh, that way. I'm happy with that. And I'll be putting that onto my main frame. I'll just get that out of the way a minute. I'm going to pop my fish bits. That just didn't sound right, did it? But I am going to pop my fish bits together as well, just those background bits. So I've got to just taking this out so I can remember which way round I'm going, because I did the other one upside down, and I just want to make sure that my tail and things are gonna fit on nicely. There we go. So that's gonna go there. Just gonna put that body on again to make sure that it will go back on. Yeah, that's fine. So I've got my fish's tail on. I'm going to use that as an eye actually. And then I want one of these little cogs as a bit of a fin there at the top. So I'm just going to cut that. Oh yes, fish bits. I'm going to cut that in half and hold on to that because it will come in handy for somewhere else. Let's get that. Just poking out those bits. They do fall out really easily actually. It's well cut. And then I'm going to stick that on the top there, and I'm keeping this one in place so that I can make sure that it's all going to fit. So that's fab. I'm happy with that. I can put that to one side as well. I think I've done enough. Do I want to put more on there? No, that's good. That's going to be good when it's all rusted up. That's going to be good. Now there was the little and I want to just put the other half a cog I want to put on here. I did just put it over there, didn't I? I want to put it on here because it's going to be like fin on the fish. So I'm going to just poke my little bits. Oh, hello, quick hello from Wales while we wait for food. Hello, hello. So I'm just poking those bits out and I'm going to stick it down. And I am going to put a little bolt on this one as well. There, like that. And a little bolt. I want just a little one. I don't want anything too big. Here we go. There are so many yummy, scrummy pieces in these kits. You could make so many projects with them. And let's put that bolt on there. So when I put my fish all together, that will go on and that will be like the fish's fin. I can show you. If I'd done it the right way around, that would be really good, wouldn't it? So there we go. So once I put my fish together, you can see how that's going to work. So let's put that up there a minute and let the adhesive do its job. And while that adhesive is doing its job, I'm going to get this little lot out of the way. Need that bit, need that bit. Push those little bits just over the edge of my mat to get them out of the way. And there we go. Right, so the next bit that I need to do is I need to cover my frame. So you can see on here, the frame is covered. And now this is lots of rice paper with a little bit of a rust effect on it. So we're going to just cover the frame. Let me pop that out of the way. There we go. Now I used 2 different papers when I covered my frame because I just really like them, and I'm trying to find the names. So what I've got left is obviously the halves of the paper that I didn't use. Oh, can you believe it? I was rolling over it with my chair. So, yes, it's boiler room and industrial erosion are the two that I'm using to cover the frame. And then obviously there's the Da Vinci one there, and that's called the Da Vinci Code. So, and they're all available in all kinds of sizes. That I've got these in A4. So let's get this covered over. Or covered up. Covered over? I don't know. Either. So I've got my doofah loofah. Now I'm not going to use the anti-skinner glue for this, purely just only because it's a big surface area, and also when you're using rice papers, it's really good to use something that's not too, it's got a different viscosity to it. So I'm actually using a bookbinding glue, but there are speciality rice paper adhesives out there which will do the job beautifully. But it is very much about the viscosity. So I'm just covering, hi Lamia, covering my frame and getting as nice and even a coverage as I can. There we go. Right, that's looking good and covered. Let me grab a bit of tissue to just wipe my spatula, otherwise I'll never get it unsticky again. And let's take these two papers now, and you can see I've ripped the edges so that I can blend them in place nicely without having any hard edges. And I know with this bookbinding glue I've got a little bit of playing time. Once I've pressed it down like this, that's it, it'll be in place. But I had a little bit of playing time, so I'm burnishing this on now with my hand just to make sure that I've got a nice smooth finish. If you've got a tool like this, this is a good option just to smooth it down. This is a lovely tool because it's got a soft side, and I don't know, I can't remember where it's from. My lovely friend Louise Withers brought me this, so I don't know where it's from. She might know where it's from, but it's a really handy tool, especially if you like to use rice papers, because it helps you to just smooth them out and burnish them wherever you want them. So I've got my rice paper on, and obviously the next job is going to be to remove the edges. Now I find the best way for me to do this with this particular design is just to wet the edges and rip the paper away. That works for me in this instance. Sometimes I'll cut papers, but I do prefer to rip them unless there's a particular element that I want to cut out. So it comes away nice and easily, and you can then get a nice smooth edge. There we go. So just smoothing that edge. Oh, I love it. Something very satisfying. Look at that. Oh, so satisfying. Gives me a lot of pleasure. Now, let's get this bottom edge off here. Oh, I think I'm going to have a month off lives. I feel like I've been live way too much the last few days. Just taking this off there. And get this last little bit. And there we go. So that's another edge down. And again, oh, lovely. So satisfying. Or is that just me? I don't know. Hey, Facebook user. I don't know who you are, but hey. And it's good to see you. No worries, Linda. No worries. Oh, you just take care of yourself. It's an absolute nightmare, this weather, for electricals for some of us. And, you know, I certainly can relate.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Oh, she who shall not be named has just spoken. She does that periodically. Do you have a she who shall not be named that just butts in? I should have turned her off. So again, we're just taking that one off. I mean, oh, that's... Look at these effects that we've got on here by just sticking the rice paper on there. I mean, it's just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I'm just doing that inner window now. And I'll keep all these scraps because they all come in useful. And I'll use some of the scraps on the fish possibly. Because they're just lovely. There we go. Oh, it ripped a little bit into the edge, but I'm not worried about that because we're going to do some rust effects on the edges, so it'll be fine. Let's just take that off. Come to the other side and do exactly the same. It's really, really simple, gentle, creative activity. So I'm just gently rubbing it with my fingers just to get it to go over the edges. If there's any bits that stick out too much, I can get my adhesive on there and just rub it into place. But, you know, there's some of that book binding adhesive still a little bit moist there, so I'm able to just push it in. So, oh, thank you, Natasha. So, I mean, look at that. It really is. It's really, you know, it's almost a shame to do anything else to it, isn't it? It's just so beautiful. But we are going to do more to it. We are. But it really is just, oh, these designs and it would work. These, you know, you could do countless MDF grey board things with these beautiful papers because they just work. They just work, and they make you look like an artistic genius, don't they? I mean, look at that. There we go. We've got that. That is all covered now, so excellent. We can pop that off to one side as well. Now, I do want to get my little fish pieces, and I'm going to cover them with some grey board. Not grey board. Come on, Rachel, get with the programme. I'm going to cover them with a bit of rice paper too, but I want them to have a slightly different rice paper. So I'm just looking in my little scrappy bits of rice paper because I want them to have something a little bit different on them. So I'm just looking in here because I've got, no, like that. That's, I mean, look at this. Look at this. But this is part of the Da Vinci paper that we're going to use for the inserts. This is part. You can see here. So I'm going to use this. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Caroline. So I'm going to use this. And because this is only little pieces, I don't mind using this glue just super quickly. I'm trying to spread it around as much as I can. And let's pop those bits on there. This is where I hope I've got them all the right way round. Fingers crossed. And it's not the end of the world if I haven't. I can always change it. Right, so I'm going to let these ones dry for a little bit before I start getting the paper off around them. So that's them out of the way. And now the last one I'm going to do is this guy. And what I'm going to do with this guy is I am going to cut this guy rather than tear him. And I'm also going to put this is the backing for it. I'm going to put that over him so that I can make sure I get him where I want him, which is about there. That's where I want him. So I'm just going to draw around with a pencil. And whoops. And the other thing I'm quite tempted to do, and I didn't do this on the last one, but the other thing I'm quite tempted to do is to get some of this text on the plaque that comes with the kit, because I think that might be quite nice to have as a background on my. I'll show you the one, my original. On my original, I'd carried on doing the rusty stuff and added a stencil. So you can see that's the original one that I did. But I think I'm going to put some of this text in the background because I think that will be really cool. So let me get some scissors because I'm actually going to cut this to stick it on. Yeah. And I'm also, when I'm using rice papers, I do quite like to do white gesso before I stick the papers down, because I find that really helps to bring the colours out. But I'm not going to in this instance, because the board is quite light and the papers are a really good quality, and they're not terribly thin. It's actually, it's fine. It didn't pose me any problems when I did it. So let's just take those pieces. Voila. And I'm going to go back to my bookbinding glue now to just stick these into place. So, oh, he's so lovely. I do love him. Hi, Nelly. Let me just spread some of this. And we'll pop this guy on here. Maybe down a bit. And he's on. And just making sure that I've got a nice smooth adhesion. Now, when all of these rice papers are in place now, if you wanted to, you could use a nice clear gesso or a clear matte varnish. I'm not going to, because obviously the night is not getting any younger and neither am I. So I'm going to just press on. So let's get that text. I do like that. I've got high hopes for this. So we will see. We will see if those high hopes are founded. And let's give this a clean off. So I think that's all my adhesived, is that a word? Adhesived bits kind of done now. Everything that needs to be stuck has been stuck, has it? Oh, let me think. Oh no, I am missing a couple of little bits. Hang on. I want to do a porthole for the window on the frame, so that needs to be done. Give me a porthole. It's one of these, and I just want to put a couple of bolts on that, and this will then sit. I'm looking for my frame. It's up here. This will sit on here when we finish that. So I'm just going to put a couple of bolts on that, and then we're ready to move to the next phase. Oh, how exciting. Right, bolt me up. Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it? It would be nice. So I'm just going to put 3 bolts on there and get those stuck into place. I do love all of these little chipboard bits. There we go. So that's my little port holder as well. So I think that's everything that needs to be stuck has been stuck, I think. I hope. Let's get rid of my little scrappy bits so I can see some space, because that'll make life a lot easier. Always clean as you go, and you'll never have to go and clean. Wouldn't that be nice if it was true? Let me just put these bits out of the way. Bear with me. It's one of my favourite things to say, that is. Bear with me. But I have to, this is, I can't, I've got to make space in order to continue. So I'm going to do that. Make space. So, next things next. Next, I want to add some texture, which is going to make my rust look really rusty and cool. And my favourite way of doing that at the moment is using lava paste. I just love it. Like, really, really love it. So let's get some on. I'm just getting all the pieces that I'm going to want to put rust on in front of me. And then I'm going to get this little pot of magic, and it really is magic. And I know it only looks like a little pot, and it is only a little pot. I don't know, what is it, 50 millilitres? But I've had this for ages, and I use it on loads of things. So do not be put off by the size. It has got, it is small yet mighty. So now I'm going to, terrible English, so now, yeah. Right, Rachel, get back on track. I'm going to just add some little bits of lava paste. And I'm just using my finger. And you really don't need a lot. You might be tempted to do a lot, but you don't need a lot. I'm just using tiny, tiny bits and smearing it. That's a word, isn't it? And I'm smearing it on with my finger. There we go. So you can see it's a really light application. I've deliberately left the slightly thicker bit there, but it'll be interesting to see how that reacts. And again, I'm just smearing on anywhere that I want to look a bit rusty, is the plan. So any of these elements that I want to look rusty are getting a little smear of lava paste. And I'm also going to put it on the edges, not all the way along the edge, because I don't, that wouldn't work for the rust that I'm going to do, to have it all the way along the edge, because it's not a uniform type of thing. But I'm just smearing in places. And I'm going to do the same, exactly the same on this frame. I'm just going to pick a few places to smear some lava paste. I'm not going to worry about that hole, because it's going to have it's got a little porthole bit going on it, hasn't it? So it's not really, it's just a waste to put any there. And I'm also not going to worry too much about this corner because it's going to have all of the mechanical elements dangling around it. But I am going to put some more there. Oh, and I wouldn't mind a nice crusty corner there. Well, that might be a little bit too crusty. You do, it really honestly is. You'll see now when I use the heat gun, it really is a less is more product. Unless you want a lot of puffiness, of course, but well, you'll see now, it's really magical. It is a wonderful stuff, Madeline. It really is. I've not used. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, it's like that puffy snow stuff, but it's not. It's nothing, so don't be fooled into thinking it's like the puffy snow stuff, because it's not like the puffy snow stuff. It's got a very once it puffs up, it's a very solid texture, and not airy at all. So I'm just using my, I don't know what you call these things, my heat it tool over the surface, and you can see that anywhere that we've used the lava paste, we're getting a bit of texture, and it really is magical stuff. Yeah, if you use too much, it just goes insane. You really do need very little, so that's why it's in a little pot. But do not be fooled. Right, I've got some nice texture there that I'm really happy with. So let's get some more done. Do. Oh, I better not start singing. I'm not allowed to sing. If you don't know the story, which is unlikely because it's a bit of a brag for me. I was doing a Casual Sunday live stream with the lovely Leanne, which we do most Sundays, or nearly every Sunday. And I was singing, and I've got a terrible voice, but I like singing, so I sing anyway. So I had a little sing song on there, and we ended up Facebook ended up muting some of the video for copyright reasons. So I was really chuffed because I thought, oh, my singing must be much better than I thought it was. If if Facebook are muting us for copyright reasons, so I have done nothing but brag, about how good my singing must be. It's not. It's absolutely horrendous. It's the worst singing, but I don't care. I really like it, and my grandchildren like my singing, so it can't be that bad, surely. Surely. But hey ho, as long as it makes you happy, does it really matter? It was hilarious. I've honestly never, ever, ever, never been so complimented in all my life. Oh, dear me. It is so funny. So there we go. Yeah, so I have to contain myself and not sing because I do have a bit of a habit of bursting into song. I don't know why, because I don't feel like I'm a Disney character. I don't know what it is. I just do it. Just little subtle bits of texture coming up on here, which I'm really liking. Oh, see, I do sing when I'm happy, and I'm in my happy place. That's what it is. I'm in my happy place. I'm making things that make me happy, and I just want to have a little sing song. That's all. It's not much to ask. There we go. That'll do with that. And then I'm just getting this frame and doing exactly the same, just heating that lava paste up. Oh, this is quite a nice little evening of playing. Right, now let me just have a think. Have I got everything heat set that needs to be heat set? Am I on track? I think I am. So that's good. I haven't meandered from the path. Right, the next thing I need to do is I'm going to add a little bit of gesso. Well, I'm going to add a lot of gesso to the grey board pieces, but I'm also going to add a little bit of gesso here where I'm going to put the extra rusty bits. Oh, yes, of course I can. There we are. Can you see where the lava paste is puffed up? It's all very, hopefully you can see on there. Oh. A lava. Oh, and I see. Oh, makes me want to sing the lava song. Oh, there we go. So, oh, is that too close? Yes. But you can see I've got all my texture bits. So now I'm going to put a little bit of gesso on the rice paper bits where I want to put rust and on the grey board. And I'm using black gesso because that's my favourite. But if you wanted to use white, you could use white, but it would be a real pain in the neck then to bring it round to a rusty colour. But the reason I'm using gesso even on this paper is because I haven't varnished it or or put a clear, I haven't sealed it with anything. So I'm just using a little bit of gesso where I'm going to put the rusty bits. So because it is a good idea really to seal. Just seal your rice paper. So, but it's only little areas, so it's not hard. Look at this poor brush. It's so abused, but it's so handy. It's so handy dandy. And we'll get that. Ooh, lovely. I quite like the extra texture from not sealing it. I quite like, there's a little bit of, yeah, quite like that. So I'm just doing the edges because I'm just basically so I'm laughing. I'll tell you the joke now. I'm laughing because I just stopped myself because I was just about to say it's just a little kiss of the a little kiss of the gesso is what it is. Sorry for the pause there. Had to think of my words for a minute. So yes, and then I had to stop myself because I really quite enjoy. I don't know if you've seen it, but I quite enjoy watching Jamie Oliver's one pan meals or one pan wonders. I don't know what he's calling it, but something like that at the moment. And he's always saying, "Oh, and a kiss of olive oil," and it's not a kiss. He drowns everything in olive oil, and I'm always saying, "No, Jamie, it's not a kiss. It's way more than a kiss." And I just made myself chuckle then because I felt like I was channeling Jamie Oliver with his kisses of product. So probably not at all funny, but it made me laugh. Oh, you're so lovely, Jess. So now these pieces, I can just slap it all over. Slap it all over. That's all it needs. Get it on there. G'day, Bruce. Oh, and I'll tell you another thing I've been watching. Oh my goodness. I'm reminded myself with my Australian accent there, if you didn't realise. I've been watching Bluey with my granddaughter. Oh, it's really emotional. It's wonderful and very emotional. There we go. Rocking through this. Yeah, kiss. Just a kiss of gesso. Just a kiss. Oh, I do talk some absolute twaddle, but what are you going to do? Yeah, you should hear me when I'm on my own. It gets worse. But, hey ho. Right, this big boy. See, now we're all nicely stuck and textured, and we're just going to get that gesso on and we're going to be away. Now this is having a blooming great big snog of gesso because I want to get it good and covered. Because the other thing I really like about using black gesso on things is that it hides You need to say it needs to become a thing. Are you kissing or are you snogging with your gesso? This I'm snogging. Because the reason why is because black gesso hides a multitude, absolute multitude, especially in my case, holds a multitude of sins. You know, you can, if you've got black gesso as your underpainting and you miss bits, it really isn't that noticeable. And that's one of the things I really, really love about it, is it gives me the opportunity to have a good finish when perhaps I wouldn't have had if I'd not used it. So that's what I like about it. There we go. Yeah, it's a little kiss of gesso. That's going well. Get on there. So we've got a really nice base to work with now. I'm just doing the edge of that because that's going to be coming off the main piece. So we need to get that painted up. And last, yeah, this is the last piece. So we will ooh, texture. I love texture. I love it. We all need texture in our lives. There we go. Let's get that on there. Right, lovely. So, gesso is done. If you've noticed, I do tend to do things in stages. You know, get all the gluing done, get all of the sticking done. Well, sticking and gluing, same thing, isn't it? Really, but get that done. Get the gesso all done. Get it done in stages, because I find that makes life a lot easier. Let's just give everything a little dry. And of course, this is going to activate any of the lava paste that we didn't get on the first go. There we go. Come here, frame. Come here. Don't be shy. Just getting it dry. Now, a lot of the time... Oh, look. Can you see that? Can you see? I don't know if you can see it. There's a really... turn the dryer off, Rachel. There's a really lovely bit of texture just here. I don't know if you can you show it here? I don't know, but it's really lovely. Anyway, right, are we all dry? A lot of the time I would just go off and leave things dry in between stages. I wouldn't force dry it because, you know, I mean, that's the beauty of doing a project like this, is that you can just take your time. I'm sorry, I just noticed a bit of wet gesso. You can take your time and enjoy the process and get caught up in it and really sort of think about where you're going to put different elements and how you're going to put it together. Because don't forget, all of these cogs you can cut up and do lots of different things with. You know, there's so many different options with these type of kits. Right, how are we doing now? Oh, Rachel, you sloppy woman. My kiss of gesso is just a little bit too sloppy. And nobody likes a sloppy kisser. There we go. Oh, that texture is just coming out beautifully now. It's a bit wet still as well. It's my own fault. I'm being a little bit impatient because I'm here with you, and I always get a little bit impatient when I'm creating with my friends. I just get impatient because I want to get on and show you things, and I don't want to keep you waiting too long, and so you will have to forgive me. There we go. And that's got some nice texture going on as well. So I've got my frame and I've got all my other little bits, and I've got my spray water, which I'm going to need, and I've got my heat gun, which I'm going to need, and I need a nice sort of, yeah, that's a reasonably good brush for this. So I'm going to start creating my rusty effects now. It was a slobbery kiss with the gesso, I'm afraid, in places, but I've dried it out now. It's okay. Let me have a little drink. Talking of slobbery kiss, it's water in a can. Can you believe it? How weird is that? But, you know. So I'm going to start this. Now, there are loads of different ways of creating this effect, and you'll go with whichever one feels right to you. And some people like to go from lighter to darker. Some people like to go from darker to lighter. It's a very, very individual thing. So I'm going to start off with this. I'm just trying to get the colour now. This is the primary yellow, and I'm going to give it a shake because it's got so much pigment in it. It's really important to give it a little shake before use. And I've got the tiniest bit out because I know it's going to go for Glim Miles. So I'm spraying everything that I'm going to... Seems crazy after drying it, doesn't it? But I'm spraying everything. And then I'm going in with this primary yellow, because this is how I do my rust effects. I go from light to dark, and sometimes add a little bit of something else in between too. But that's how I like doing it. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's the way you'll like doing it. You might like to do it the other way around. And I know that there are certainly people who do it the other way around, because I've done lives before and somebody's said, oh no, somebody else does it the other way. But that's okay. We're all correct. There isn't a set way of doing anything. So let's... Right, I'm happy with that as my base. And now I'm gonna... Right, there's no real need for me to do anything in the middle there because there's going to be things going there. So I'm just adding my yellow, and my gesso wasn't dry. Oh no! Oh, that's really annoying. I found a bit of wet gesso. Oh, Rachel, you slobbery gesso kisser. Right, I'm just going to have to get a little bit of paint out again because obviously I've contaminated that. Thank you, Susie. Thank you. Good evening, Facebook user, whoever you may be. Whoops. Oh, Rachel. Right, so we'll leave that fish for now because I've established that the gesso is a bit wet on there. Ooh, slobbery gesso kisses on a fish. I don't know what's my life come to. And I'm just adding the yellow. on here. Now there is a colour in this range that is almost like instant rust, and I could have just gone in with that, but I like adding layers. I like having little bits of other colour. So, and I'll show you that colour in soon. I'm going to do another couple of layers and you'll see it. And it really is like instant rust. It's a fab colour. Oh, good afternoon from sunny day in Canada. Oh, how lovely. How lovely. Oh, thank you for all the love, Lamia. I do like a lot of love. There we go. So that's done. Have I done everything that I want to put rust on? Let me just double check, because it'll be really annoying if I've missed something. There we go. Done, 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 done. Yeah, we're all done and ready to go on to the next level. So I'm going to give this a try between the layers, because I don't want it to just go to murk, which if all the colours blend together, you've got that, you run that risk of it just going to murk. And there's a big difference between a rusty effect and a murky effect. We want the rust to have layers and texture and look interesting, as if it's lived an interesting life. So there we go. That's it. Doesn't take much. Right, so the next colour I'm going to use is this. It's transparent yellow iron oxide. Yeah, and I like a bit of green, but I used a lot of this. Come on, my darling, come on out of the bottle. So even though we've dried everything, another squirt of water, because that keeps everything nice and loosey-goosey. I'm just putting this in places, and I'm not going everywhere I went with the yellow. I'm just going some of the places where the yellow is. So just building up those layers of age and interest. There we go. Oh, it looks absolutely horrible at the moment, but it will become rather lovely. You just have to have faith. I think that's another issue when you're doing rust, is it's very easy to panic. Now, you just got to trust that it's going to be okay. Because it will be, and essentially it's the same as any other mixed media technique that you do, that if you're not happy with it, put another layer on. Just keep going. Put another layer on, see what happens. There we go. Let's get another layer on and sing a song that can't be copyright. Doobie doobie doo, ba da ba ba. There we go. Happy with that. So again, I'm going to bring... It is. It really is, Jess, isn't it? Yeah, layers and layers and layers. Yes, trust the rest, Madeline. Trust the rest. Oh, bye, Natasha. Bye. Mwah. Yes, the rice paper. This is 2 pieces of rice paper. This is 2 different ones, but I like them both, and I thought they were both really nice together, so I put them together because that's how I roll. I'm wild and crazy, and I like mixing up my rice papers. And it's only Wednesday evening. Who would have thought? Just making sure that that layer is nicely dry before I do anything else. Oh, this makes me so happy. I'm using Da Vinci for the picture, but that's... Whoops. I hope I didn't press anything I shouldn't have there. That's the picture. But I'm using... This is Boiler Room and... Hang on, wait for it, because I've got it written down. Boiler Room and Industrial Erosion. So I was going to use one of these 2 in Ruby Tuesday for a bit of contrast, but once I put them together, I just had to use them together because they just work. So I'm just going to keep a little bit wet still. Come along, my pretties, come along. Yeah, no, it's those 2, Jess. I really they just work so beautifully together because they've both got these... Oh, and you can see that. They're just lovely. So this is my instant rust colour. And this is called quinacridone. Quinacridone, that's such a mouthful. It is a glorious, glorious paper. Quinacridone gold, and it is just... That's what it is. It's just magic. So let's get that baby out of there. And let's get my brush ready. And I'm going to give everything a little squirt again. And a little squirt on there. And I'm going to add... Oh, it's just insane how good and rusty it is. And you can always add a little bit more water as you go in just to blend that in nicely. Ooh, do you like rust? Get some of this quinacridone because it's just rust. It's just amazing. There we go. Get this frame done. Oh, that's a little bit heavy-handed there, but it'll be okay. A bit more water. Oh, love that. Oh, I'm in my own happy little world with this. Hi, Corolla. Oh, it's so yummy, Jess. If you don't have this paint in your arsenal, I would strongly suggest it. They're beautiful paints anyway for all manner of things, but they do give some amazing effects. But then, you wouldn't expect anything less than that, would you really? For Mr. Skinner, he's terribly good. Right, let's get these. Ooh, this makes me very happy. Now we are going to add some other colours to this. This isn't the end, but and we've got to finish our fish. Oh, look at that! Just look at that! Ooh, rusty pasty. Well, that doesn't sound very nice, does it? But rusty yummy. It's lovely. And let's get some on here. And on here. It's so delicious. And on here. And around here. Lovely. And that is just magic. Right, let's just clean up a little bit so that we're not getting in too much of a pickle. Am I shaking you? I do hope I'm not making you feel seasick there. Right, little clean up and a little dry. Little clean up and a little dry. How are we doing for time? Oh, hour and a half. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm probably, if I'm realistic, I'm probably going to be another 20 minutes, half an hour. So I'll just warn you now. There is about another 20 minutes. I don't think it'll be longer than that, but if it is, it'll only be a few minutes. But yeah, so in between 20 minutes and half an hour, and we'll be done. So this is, it is a 2-hour project. There's no getting away from that. And I think if I was, when I did the first one, and if you were at home just having a nice afternoon day, you could easily spend the day just enjoying this project and taking your time to create it. Because, you could add crackle paste to the central image. I haven't done that yet, but you could easily add a bit of crackle paste to the central image, and varnish to the outside. There's so many other things you could do to this. So it's a good day project, or even a weekend if you want to just leave different elements to dry and take your time and just enjoy it. Because if you don't enjoy it, what's the point? Right, there we go. That's looking good. So the next colour I'm going to add is a little bit of blue. Now, I couldn't decide between the high, I think I am going to put the high pigment blue in, and this is Colbert Teal Hue, and it's a bit luscious. So again, just shaking that pigment to make sure that it's nice and evenly distributed, because there's a lot of it in there. Sorry, I've got to have some of my ridiculous canned water. Hang on. Because I never, at any point in my life, talk as much as I talk when I'm doing a live. So I do get a bit of a dry throat, because I'm not used to it. Even when I'm talking to myself, I don't talk this much. Right, get a bit of kitchen order. Oh, clean my brush. There we go. Right, let's get some of this lovely, lovely, luscious teal on the go. There we go. And just, not going mad with the blue, but I am making sure it's in there. Because I just really, really like a bit of blue in my rust. And I think it just really works because there's some blue, like a tealy colour in this rice paper, and I think it really works to have that little bit of blue in with the rust. Just bringing that really gently. A little bit heavier there. That might be a little bit too heavy, so all I do, if I think any area is a little bit too heavy, I just use my water spray and blend it out a little bit. So, because it's pointless when you're using acrylics, don't try, you can wipe a bit, of course you can, but when it's areas like this, it's far easier just to use a bit of water spray and blend out. Look, this teal is just working beautifully with the teal in the paper. It's just making this rust seem even more organic to the piece. Oh, scrumptious. Love that. Very happy with that. A little bit more again there. Right, let's put that out of the way a minute. And we'll put it on these pieces as well. Now these have got a little bit dry while they've been sitting there, so let's spread that about a bit. Ooh. Oh, excuse me, sir. I do love me a bit of texture and rust and teal. Oh. Is it wrong that makes me that happy? How can it be wrong when it feels so right? There we go, a little bit on that. Just little bits. Just you know, there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just little bits. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And again, when you fish, a little bit on there, a little bit on there. Just adding my little bits. There we go. Let's get that dry. And we can start to assemble our pieces. Right, you can go over there a minute. Now at this stage, if you're a fan of waxes and things, you could add a little bit of wax if you wanted to. Just take it in whatever direction seems good to you. Right, there we go. That seems quite good and dry. Where's my frame? Let's make sure that's good and dry. Just getting it all ready now to start putting our elements together. So now we can put Da Vinci in his frame. So we've got a little bit of wiggle room as to what we see of him. So I'm just going to there you go. You could sand those edges if that bothers you. So let me just take some more of this nice quick grab adhesive and pop it around the frame, and then I can flip it and I can just pop that where I like it, really. There we go. Make sure he's all stuck in place. Yeah. Oops, no, come along now, Da Vinci. How rude. There we go. Get him stuck down. And I can put my, oh no, now I need to put my cabochon in there before I put that down. So we'll stick this. Where do I want this? I want that about there. I'm going to use a little bit of glue gel on this because I'm going to want to pick it up and show you guys, and I know that it will be quite difficult to do that. And there we go. Oh, nice bit of coggage in place. Right. So that's looking good. We're happy with that. Let's get the other little elements done and then we'll be away. Oh, I've clicked something on my computer. I didn't want to click anything. What have I clicked? There we go. Right, I've got this which I need to stencil on. I don't need to, but I want to. And I've got a choice of sort of wordy stencils. I'm going to go for this one. Fab bam, bam. And I think I'm going to go for... oh no, I looked at this earlier, pardon me, and I knew exactly what I wanted to put on, and I remembered now. I want to put the unknown on there. That's what I'm going for. I'm just trying to check it's sort of straight on there. And it is. Just checking that is Prussian blue. Payne's grey, that's what I want. And a little bit of Payne's grey. Not much, because we don't need much. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of foam, hopefully. Unless it's disappeared. Because things do that, don't they? When you want them, they disappear. Right, so I'm going to use, should have a suitable-ish brush. Have I got a suitable-ish brush? Come on. Must have a suitable-ish brush. So that will probably work. It's quite, yeah, it's poundable. As long as I can get a little bit of pouncing out of it, we'll be okay. So just, and because I'm using a smaller brush, actually, it's quite cool because I'm not having to worry about masking off the other words. If I was worried about catching the other words, what I'd do is I'd just use some masking tape over them. And that would stop me catching them. I do love these phrases. Right, fingers crossed. Oh yeah, that's okay. I'm good with that. And I could fill that in if I wanted to, but I quite like it like that. It looks very very shabby. Very shabby indeed, and I like a bit of shabby. So let's clean that. Give that a little dry, little blast. Yeah, I could use my black micron pen and fill in some of these gaps, but I quite like that you can read it, but it looks kind of faded. That seems to fit quite nicely with it. And I think that the background text, I think I got it the wrong way up, but I think we'll get away with it. I think it'll only be me that will really bother. Or it does bother me, but it'll be okay. It'll be okay. I'll get over it. Now I need to put that in there, really, like that. So I need to give that a little bit of a lift. So we'll do that as well. Let's pop this in place. Oh, it's a fab stencil. It's really good. Right, so we'll put that in place there. And then what I'll do is I'm going to take some of these little pieces that came out of the cogs and I'm going to build myself up a little platform to rest my cogs on, because obviously I've now got, is that going to fit there now? I've got it up on here, so I'm just creating a little platform for it. There we go. Beautiful. So that's coming together nicely. So let's get our eye eye in the background. Hello, whoever you are, Facebook user. I need a little bit of card to stamp on, that'll do. And I need my stamp. Where's that gone? Come here, you devil. Where are you? There we go. I got you. So I've got this eye stamp, which I just love. Aye. And I'm going to stamp it out. Now, if you want this to be a bit bolder and a bit darker, I would stamp it in a stamp platform so you can go over it several times. Or the alternative to make it darker would be to use some embossing powder on it, and that will make it darker. So there we are. Just giving the ink a chance to get into the paper tooth. There we go. Oh, it's just, I love it. I just love it. I just think it's a really, really, really beautiful stencil. So, not stencil, stamp even. Just think it's really beautiful. Now I'm going to use these pigment paints to paint it. So I'm going to use a little, whoops. Should have used a bit less of that, but never mind. And I need a bit of white with that. So right, let's mix up a little bit of skin tone to use. Don't think that brush would be any good for anything. So I'm just taking a little bit of white and a little bit of this, I can't remember what it was called, yellow iron oxide. Mixing that in there. With the white. And then a little bit of the red. That was probably, yeah, overdid that, Rachel. But it's okay. We can bring it back to life, but probably have way more than we need. But it's okay. You see, the pigment in these paints is just so incredibly strong. They are really highly pigmented. More yellowy colour. Come in, please. And I'm going to go for a little bit more of a yellowy hue. There we go, we're getting there. We're getting there. Right, I'm going to use a really small amount of this. It's such a shame. I should have put it in a palette of some sort. Gosh, I love this stamp. It's so clever. It is incredibly clever. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this red. Just really, is it carmine red? Let me see. No, it's primary magenta. It's very red. Just adding that in and across. And here. Got a little bit up top. Blend that in. And you can add whatever picture you want into this. I just really like the eye. And I'm going to take a bit of this blue. A little tiny bit. Now, obviously, you could take your time and do something really special with this, because it has got lots of interesting little markings and things that you could add, different hues of colour and all the rest of it. But I think I'm just going to crack on now, because I did say I'd only be another half an hour or so, so I don't want to keep you all here for too long. Right, I'm happy with that. That will do. Get rid of all that lovely skin tone paint that I wish I'd done on a palette. And we're cleaning it. Alright, so I've got my eye and I've got my backing to my eye, so I'm just gonna draw around that so I know what I'm cutting out. Oh, voila. Or I could have done a little bit more. I'm not mixing skin tone up again now. Oh, hi Sandra. Is that Fifi there? Hi Fifi. So I'm just going to cut this out. There we go. And I'm going to stick that onto this little bit of backing here. And then I'm going to stick it onto here. So I'm going to do exactly the same as I did before, just put some glue around the outside so that I can pop this down where I want it. Oh, look at that eye. And then what I found, which I rather liked, and I was really, really chuffed that it fit, is I've got these things that I'm throwing everywhere. I've got these glass cabochons. I got them from Amazon, and you've got loads for not very much money. You know, they were one of those things that they just had loads of. So I'm just taking some glossy accents and popping that on the back, and then I'm going to squidge that on there. It's a little bit milky now because of the glossy accents, but it'll go nice and clear eventually. And then I'm going to pop that little porthole frame on there, and then we've just got to pop our fish together and get that on there. So we're nearly there. Oh, thank you, Facebook user, thank you. Right, so I've got my little fishy bits here, And this is the bits that we've got stuck on rice paper as well. So I'm going to just cut them actually, and just for speed. And what I would ordinarily do is I'd run if I was cutting them, well, I am cutting them, and I'm going to do it as well because I can't not do it, sorry. It is creepy, Caroline, it is a creepy eye. So I'm just, because I've cut that rice paper, so I haven't got too harsh an edge, I'm just using my little sanding block on it. So there we go. Now I've got to say, if you like what I do, and if you like how I do it, I've actually got a mixed media 101 course coming up with the lovely Lou Withers. We're doing a weekend of mixed media techniques, and it's going to be very cool. And it's available on her Etsy at the moment for an early bird price. Because, you know, obviously money's a bit tight for everybody at the moment, so we thought we'd try and do something that might suit lots of pockets. So yes, so we've got a bit of an early bird price, and it's the weekend. It's the 24th and the 25th, and it's going to be chock-a-block full of mixed media techniques, but for both days and with both teachers, you will actually create a project that can be used as a reference and also adapted then to make lots more projects. So yeah, it's a really nice little weekend, and it's myself and Lou Withers that are going to be teaching, and it should be very enjoyable. There we go. Let's get that off there. That's all my bits, I think. So I've got all my bits, I've got my fish, so let's stick him together. Let's make sure I get it right. I think it's that and that. Come on, Rachel, now. I'm just befuddled by the fish. It can't go any other way. It's got to go on there. Right. And does that go on there? That goes on there. Just making sure I get it all in the right kind of place. Is that about right? That looks about right, doesn't it? So we'll stick these bits on. And I could go around the edge of these with some ink, and it'll probably haunt me that I haven't, but you know, we do all need to go to bed at some point tonight, so I'm going to crack on. There we go. A little bit and bit. Lovely. And then one of these things I found recently in amongst my crafty Jenga. Get that in place. Come on, you cheeky little fish. There we go. Was my Dymo thing, which I really do enjoy using, and I think, oh, I've lost my my little roll of tape for it. Well, that's okay because I can do it with paper if I have to, because that's what I used to really enjoy doing back in the day. I mean, goodness knows how many years ago. I dread to think, but when scrapbooking first came to this country, I was quite involved in it and quite into it. And we used to use these with paper. In fact, there's a bit of paper in this one now. We used to use these with paper to write things. Come along now. I need to get this piece of paper out of here and put another piece of paper in. Right, come here. Don't be disobedient, paper. Oh, it's on its way out that way now. There we are. We've got it. Right, so I've got cut a little strip of paper which will fit. And get it to come through. I don't know why this is not being as agreeable as it normally is, but we will. There we go, the paper's come through. And now I'm doing the word fish, just in case there is any doubt. Now, I don't know why I did the word fish, but it just seemed like a really good idea. So there we go, and then let's just get that out. And I'll just pull that out and cut the edges off. So yes, so I've got the word fish there. It's just embossed, and I'll grab some. Oh, my knees. That's an old thing, isn't it? That's getting old when your knees hurt, when you get up. I'm just rubbing some silver wax over that to bring that out. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, oh gosh, have I spelt fish right? I'm pretty sure I have. Pretty sure I have. Right. That size. And we'll stick that on there. Yeah, and I did mean to do a little bolt on here, so you'll have to forgive me for not having that bolt, but there we go. There's my fish, all fishied up, and I'm just getting a bit of string. Oh look, I've put a comment on and I don't know how. I don't know how I did that, and I don't know how to make it go away. That's hysterical. I don't know how to make it go away. So, Jess, it's just. It's just, I have no idea what to do about that. So I've got my little fish, and I've got some. This is very nice jute twine, and I got this from Mad Archers actually. And it's very nice and very handy to chuck in all kinds of things. And it should, maybe if I go this way, let me use my pokey tool to help me get that through. Come on now. Come on, we're at the final stretch. Let's have you out of there. Come on. I might need... No, I'm going to need to be a little bit more ingenious, I think. Let me just... One more go like this. Because it will save me a lot of effort if I can just get it to... Concentrating. Got it. Got it. Oh, I feel like an absolute champion now. Hi, Moika. There we go. So I'm just tying up that fish on the end there. There we go. And let me push this to one side so I can bring in my bit of doodad. Here we go. So we've got the main piece now, and I'm just gonna tie this fish to the bottom washer here. So, and you can do that any way you see fit. Just making sure my string is even. I think I might just go with a simple bit of tying for now because that's still wet and I'm just disturbing it by doing this. There we go. So I've got my little fish and I've got my Da Vinci, and there it is. It's done. Hopefully you can... Let me... Da-da-da, with his creepy eye and his fish, and it is done. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you very much for sticking with me. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for sticking with me, and I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed myself. It was a lovely way to spend the evening. And if if there's anything you want to know about the project, please don't hesitate to message me. I'm very happy to answer any questions and do anything I can to help. So thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Sue Rousson. I love your name. It's just lovely to say, Rousson. Thank you, Anya. Thank you. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Sandra. I really, really do appreciate your company. And, like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. And, well, I'm going to go and rest for a bit now. I'm lived out. I think everybody should be totally sick of me by now, so I can be quiet for a little bit. So, thank you very much and see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.